Here, Nabil Qureshi is referring to a report from the Prophet where he said that non-believers cannot remain in the Arabian Peninsula, strictly speaking, the land of Hejaz. To this day, that rule remains. Non-Muslims cannot enter Makkah. Non-Muslims cannot enter Madeenah because that is sacred space for Muslims. And that applies to many other religions, for example. Can people just walk into Vatican and start building mosques? Can any Muslim walk into a temple, a Hindu temple for that matter, or a Buddhist temple and start building a mosque or start praying in his own way? That would be disrespectful, right? And of course, one has to look at the rules and regulations of sacred spaces. Now, the Prophet had defined the Hejaz region to be sacred space for Muslims. Therefore, non-believers could not be there. And for that reason, the Jewish communities of Arabia were relocated to Palestine, which is where they wanted to be. The Christians did not want the Jewish people to be in Palestine. This was made very clear by Patriarch Sophronius when he struck a deal with Umar, the second Caliph of Islam, when he submitted the city to him, the city of Jerusalem. And within the terms, he requested that no Jews will be allowed to live in the city of Jerusalem. And of course, that particular term was not practiced. The Jewish people were relocated to Palestine and they lived happily ever after. And we have so many books written on this topic where the Jewish scholars have paid tributes to Muslims and the Muslim civilization. In fact, some of the Jewish scholars believe that the Jewish period in Spain, when the Muslims are governing Spain, was the golden age of the House of Israel. This is where the best scholars of the Jewish history were produced, the best poets, the best commentators, the best philosophers for that matter. So when people like Nabil Qureshi and others claimed that this was a hostile act on the part of the Prophet, no. Hejaz was simply sacred space for the Muslims, and the Prophet simply stated that non-believers cannot be in the sacred space of the Muslims. And that rule applies to this day. Saudi Arabia does not allow non-Muslims to go to Mecca and Madeenah. Why? Because this is sacred Muslim space. What is the problem with that? Why can't our Christian missionary friends understand that? So it's a very simple fact which Christian missionaries fail to understand or deliberately do not want to understand.